Good morning, everybody. Jim Adkins here from Adkins Results Coaching. And yes, I'm talking about you. Maybe. Could be. It's possible. How many of you have ever listened to one of my videos or somebody else's videos and thought, he's talking about me, or that fits right with what's going on in my life? It's kind of a cool thing, right? I do it often. And I can remember doing it as a kid too, and I'll share that with you in a minute. But and it's not so new anymore, but the social media, you see this a lot. And I've been asked the question actually more than once, and it comes up often with my family. And when I mean my family, I mean my extended family. I'm talking. I have a lot of people in my extended family, and they'll reach out and say, I feel like you're talking about me, or was that directed toward me? And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't, right? So are you talking about me? Yeah, and no. Let's get into it for a minute. Have you ever on social media saw a meme that somebody posted, and it might have been a good one or a bad one, and thought directly, they're talking about me, or that's pointed at me, or that whole idea of me can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing, right? So what I want you to look at today, as we go forward here, is not to take things so personal and not to think that everything is about you. However, I want you to pay attention, because, for instance, if you do see a meme or a post or something that somebody posted, and maybe you're not on the best terms with these people, and if you're not, mend it. It's a whole nother subject, but you don't leave crumbs. If you've got strife or struggles and it's worth correcting, correct it. If it's, don't leave it hanging. And if it's not, cut it loose. And don't go on their social media and look for things to worry about. Because I hear it all the time. And it's funny and it's not funny. And I'm sorry to laugh, but for me, I voice my opinion on here. And listen, when it's my opinion, I'll share with you, hey, this is how I think, this is for me, this is how I feel. When it's fact, I will try to separate those, because very often people confuse fact for their own opinion, and it's not the way it is. So, when I voice my opinion on here, or I present a fact about the betterment of yourself or the betterment of life, sometimes people relate, and they think and they share with me, man, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And that's an awesome way to use this, right? Are you talking about me? Well, yeah, of course I can be. I may not know it at the time, but it's happening. And I hope that helps. And on the other end of that, my extended family sometimes get offended. Let me share with you this and see if this fits you. I say in my videos, and I believe that you choose your peer group and love your family. And when I say that because family is forever. They are. And they may not always be the best for you at any given time. And that's okay. It's okay. They go through their struggles, and you don't cut them loose. You love them, and sometimes at a distance, and that's okay. Sometimes, you just need to have them right around you. But when I say those things, some people in my family think I'm talking directly about them. And I want you to know that I'm not. I know I'm making silly here, but really, it's not about me when I share that stuff. It's about advice to others. I've taken the advice myself, but I'm really giving advice to others. So on that note, if it relates to you, if you hear something and it resonates with you, good, bad, or indifferent, it's a reflection of yourself. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It's a reflection of yourself, good or bad. And if it means something to you, or if it pokes you in a certain way, good. Pay attention, because it's a sign. It's not an anchor. It doesn't mean it's going to hold you down or hold you there. If you get upset with yourself, fantastic. If you get upset with the others or you blame others because of it, you need another look, because the reflection is the reflection. And I tell this to my students a lot. I'm the mirror, not the reflection. So, and that helps, right? I remember as a kid, and this is what I was going to share with you, and I'll get off here and let you start your day, going to church and sitting in church and listening to the preacher or the pastor talk about whatever they wanted to talk about that day, and thinking, uh-oh, somebody told on me, or wow, that's what I needed to hear today. He's talking to me. And leaving thinking that it was about me. That was, man, that message was for me. And spiritually, it was absolutely what I needed to hear at the time. So it wasn't all the time, right? It never is. But I can remember sitting there thinking, wow. Or the teacher at school talking about, certain people are not getting their homework done and they're getting bad grades, or there's, certain people are doing well, and thinking, oh, they're talking about me. And maybe they were, maybe they weren't, but that reflection was because I knew I wasn't giving my best effort. Whether they knew it or saw it is irrelevant. The fact that it happens, and it happens across the board to other people too, and they know it, they've experienced it, they're sharing with you, and it resonates with you, it's because of you. It's because of reflection in you that you recognize that now you can use to better yourself. So, are you talking about me? If you come across any situation in your life where you're feeling that way, and let's take it, and remember now, this part of this is my opinion. There's some fact in here, but this is my opinion. If you spend your time on social media, if that's the first thing you do in the morning or the last thing you do at night or whatever it is, and I know some of you are guilty of that. I'm guilty at times myself. I'm trying so hard not to, because, it's not what we need. We need personal social interaction. Unfortunately, I can't reach out to all of you personally and spend time with you, so I do it this way. But if you're on there and you're looking for your gratification, or you're looking for a problem or a hassle or chaos, you're going to find it. Seek and ye shall, you got it. And when you come across something from an enemy or a friend or something, and it hits you, and you think they're pointing that at me, or they're talking about me, or that Jim Adkins, he was talking about me today, or my brother, or he was talking about me today. It's not about that. If you feel it, pay attention to it, because unless they put it upon you directly and say, look, you did this, or man, I'm so proud of you for doing this, it's probably not about you. Their posts are generally about themselves, how they feel, sometimes pointed at some people, right? But really, if it resonates with you, it's a sign. Pay attention to it. Again, it's a sign, not an anchor. It's not going to hold you down. It's not going to keep you down. It's going to point you in a direction. And you get to choose to make a decision and move in that direction. I love you guys. And I hope that you love yourself. So if it speaks to you, do something about it. Good, bad, or indifferent. Hey, they're talking about the stuff I did. Yeah, look at that. I'll share with this and I'll get off here. I get to teach some wonderful people this morning. My father, my dad told me when I was younger, this is my stepdad, Rod, and, my dad, he was after my other dad died. He told me once, he said, boy, and I loved him. He was being respectful, but he was putting it to me. He said, there ain't nothing, and I think I was in junior high. He said, there ain't nothing you're going to do that I ain't already done. So don't try to get away with it. And I thought, no way. But it stuck with me. And that reflection of instant, not so much guilt, but the whole, your consciousness, the Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder thing, that voice was in my head forever. And when I started to think about, I could get away with this, his voice would come through my head, and sometimes it would stop me. Sometimes it wouldn't, and he would know, but sometimes it wouldn't stop me. So he was talking to me. always, and he still is. Even after he passed, I hear his words of wisdom. So, are you talking about me? I hope so. I really do. On that note, we could take it the other way too. Let's sum it up real quick, and then we'll go on a tangent. Um, if and why I brought this up, just so we're understanding where the video comes from. I see it. I watch it. I watch the turmoil happen amongst people when I teach students in martial arts. Just a background for you guys. I don't just teach kicking and punching. That's not what I'm about. I'm very good at it, but the human growth of a martial artist is tremendous. A true martial artist. I'm not talking about people that jump in and jump out or jump around to different forms and styles and schools and think they're learning a lot of stuff online. No. A true martial artist. Okay. And I may go on my website tonight, my martial arts website, and do this too, but they learn so much about themselves in life in the advent and the relationships that they have with their instructor and the other students. It's huge. So when I teach that type of stuff, I teach the person. I teach the individual. It's not just come in, I'll stamp you in a mold, you pay for a belt. You couldn't buy a belt from me if you wanted to, and you move on. It's not how it is. So on that note, when I watch younger students, and what I mean by younger, I mean lower rank. It could be a 50-year-old white belt, younger student, seeking turmoil. I have to step in and say, look, there's a better way. And what I mean by seeking turmoil is continuously complaining or judging other people or looking for chaos and listen, seek and ye shall, right? So when I see that, I try to guide them in a better direction. And what I mean by better, of course, it's in my opinion, but I think a life without chaos or without corruption or without judgment or without condemnation or, that's kind of a better life, in my opinion. And will there be struggles and strife? Yes. But then how do you view it? If it empowers you, if it teaches you, embrace it and move on. If you cling to it and seek it, it's not fun. Trust me, I've been there, and I still see family members struggle with it. I still see students struggle with it. It's a real thing. And I hope you're not struggling with it. So if you see something, hear something, and you think it's about you, it is. But it's only coming from you. When you seek, ye shall find. And if you're looking for reasons to better yourself and you see something that's negative that relates to you, change it. Make a decision and move forward. If you see something that's wonderful and you go, I did that, or I feel that way, embrace it, shine it up, and make it a part of every day. Share it, teach it to somebody else. I don't know. I hope that helps. And if you think I was talking about you, Mr. Murray, Paul, I am. Mr. Vowinkle. I love you guys. All right. I will talk to you again tomorrow. I'll probably talk to you tonight on the martial arts page. I've got something to say tonight about hierarchy, line of descent, and respect. And if any of those things interest you, even if you're not a martial artist, come over to White Tiger Martial Arts tonight on the Facebook page and we'll chat. All right, you guys, I love you. Until the next time, on your mark, get set, grow.